My name is Sarah and I'm with Group 1. We wrote our paper on the company Adobe Acrobat and why this company should move from the state of California to Minnesota. I'm going to provide some of the reasons why it would be beneficial for this company to move to the state of Minnesota, to include reasons for its employees to be happy about the move as well. Some of the reasons consist of the cost of living being lower in the state of Minnesota. The median home value in the state of Minnesota is $221,000, and this price is set to continue to rise over the next few years by 7.8%, which would be beneficial to anyone who is able to buy a home in the state of Minnesota. The median price range to rent a house in the state of Minnesota is $1,495. This too is cheaper than it is to rent the same size of space in the state of California. Income tax in the state of California ranges from depending on what your income is, and in the state of Minnesota it's only 5.35% for a household making under $36,000. Property tax is said to be about $989 for homeowners whose homes are homesteaded, which is very inexpensive and is comparable to the state of Texas in some counties such as Henderson County. In the company being able to move its location from California to Minnesota, it will save a number of costs such as the price of leasing the building, business taxes, that the price is more expensive in the state of California than Minnesota, as well as the cost that you have to pay your employees due to how expensive everything is in the state of California, and the cost of living being higher than that of Minnesota. Companies such as Adobe are not income taxed, are not taxed with the corporate income tax in the state of Minnesota like they are in California. So when the company is able to save money on its cost to operate in comparison from one state to the other, then they would be able to give their employees more perks and probably better pay if they could relocate to a state that costs less. These are some of the reasons why it would be beneficial for employees to consider relocating with the company of Adobe Acrobat from California to the state of Minnesota. Cost of living is less, and
Minneapolis, Minnesota is the 14th largest metropolitan territory in the country, containing around 3.8 million residents. As of the 2014 census data, it is the largest city in Minnesota and 46th largest in the country, with a population of 416,760 people. Minneapolis is the second largest financial center in the Midwest, just behind the city of Chicago. The population is expected to remain steady or grow in all of Minnesota's counties through the year 2030. Population decline is projected in some counties by the year 2045, mainly among some of the state's northernmost counties. Looking at the age distribution chart, the median age in Minnesota is roughly 31.2 years old. There are more people the age of 25 to 34 years old living in Minnesota. The second biggest age group are people 35 years to 44 years old. By 2030, the number of Minnesotans over the age 65 is expected to almost double, and older adults will compose about 1/5 of the population, while Minnesota is still not nearly as racially diverse as other states. They are becoming more diverse. 19% of the state is now persons of color, compared to only about 1% in 1960. Minnesota is the majority white population by 65.1%. Minnesota's unemployment rate ticked up 1/10 of a percentage point to 4.0% on a seasonally adjusted basis in August. This is compared to 4.9% nationally. Workers in Minneapolis area had an average hourly wage of $25.70 in May of 2015, about 11% above the nationwide average of $23.23, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics.
So now we're going to discuss how and when to inform the employees of Adobe about this move. The reason we actually go into so much detail about Minnesota is because we want to be very open with the employees of every single level, from the upper level management to the entry level positions as well. This is something to let them know that they're not moving their headquarters due to lack of talent or lack of job pool. It's basically just more inexpensive to run the business in Minnesota, which gives them a lot more opportunity to keep moving forward. We believe that in the quarter one of the moving year, we would want to tell all of our employees about the move. We estimate moving the actual physically moving in quarter three, so this would give them a good couple of months to decide if they want to stay or if they would like to move with us to the new location. For those that cannot stay, we would offer a severance package as well. For those that can, we would like to show them they have the same position moving there. This would also affect our hiring in the future. So Adobe Systems has what they call an open door program, and what that means is they're constantly accepting applications. With this in mind, it would be a smart time in quarter one of the prospective moving date to start looking at the job pool in Minneapolis as well. So with that in mind, this is how we would go into it when explaining hiring and firing of future employees and current employees to them. Because we don't want to lose our employees, because Adobe has been very successful in San Jose, and we have a great job culture there as well. So we would like, perfect world mentality, everyone to move. Now, of course, that's not going to happen, so we're going to be as reasonable as possible with that in mind. When it comes to when, we would say that it would take about one entire year to be fully functioning in the new location and not in San Jose as well. With that in mind, like we said, in quarter one, which is early January at the best, we would like to talk to our employees about the move and let them know where we're going to be moving to, and let them know that if they would like to follow, they definitely can, but they don't have to. Of course, they'd be given a severance package, let them know then. So one of the things we looked at the calendar of what Adobe wants to do. A lot of their stuff is done in quarter one. A lot of their updates and new products that they push out are done in quarter one, which is very smart for them. So with that in mind, we would use that last hurrah in quarter one in the new building. That way we're not trying to complete major projects as well as move at the same time. That would leave us quarter two and the beginning of quarter three to actually do the physical move and to move all of our products there. Now, all throughout quarter four, we're giving us enough time to operate both businesses. Now, this will be a very expensive quarter, but this is where Adobe also posts the highest profits as well. So with that in mind, we would have two places running simultaneously, working together to slowly move everything from the old home office in San Jose to the new home office in Minneapolis. This would provide a very, very smooth transition, not only in management, but also entry level. With management, of course, we want those people that are very, very good at their jobs to train the next group of people. So if they can telecommunicate, which is something that they've been good at before, this is something that could definitely help us in the future. So this would be the best time to start. And in conclusion, this would be a very, very smart move for Adobe Systems. They would be getting out of California and Jose and losing that job base and that job market. But what they would be gaining is lower property tax, lower taxes, lower cost of living, and they would also be a very, very highly sought after job in Minneapolis, meaning that they would have the top picks because from what we've researched, this is a job people are willing to move to do, which is very, very strong for them, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down. So with this, with less taxes and less overhead and less cost of living, what they can do just skyrockets, and it could very well push them into the future to be one of the best companies that we have. So, thank you.